It's not to say that at this point, it's not even to say that they believed it. It's not to say that Jesus rose or that the apostles believed it. It is to say that they claimed that he rose and appeared to them, which does away with legend.
Now, even atheistic, agnostic skeptic like Bart Ehrman, a New Testament scholar, he believes that this creed goes all the way back to within a year or two of the alleged resurrection itself.
Yeah.
And yet he would not interpret it, for him anyway, as saying that Jesus had risen from the dead, because he's admitted he has a philosophical presupposition against suggesting that any supernatural event took place in history. But as you look at the data, being open to a theistic universe, because we have evidence that this is a theistic universe, we have a cosmological, teleological, moral arguments, other arguments we could bring. You look at this evidence and say, what?
Well, it tells us at minimum that the disciples of Jesus, those who knew him and walked with him, were proclaiming that Jesus died, was buried, was raised, appeared to Peter, to James, to the 12, to more than 500, and to all the apostles. And then Paul was claiming to be an eyewitness. It's not to say that at this point, it's not even to say that they believed it. It's not to say that Jesus rose or that the apostles believed it. It is to say that they claimed that he rose and appeared to them, which does away with legend. Okay, does away with legend. And just that, so we can know that. If we go on and acknowledge some more, like through a lot of extra biblical sources, as well as other sources like Acts, like Paul, like John, we can know that some of these disciples were willing to suffer and even go to their deaths for their gospel proclamation, which strongly suggests they weren't lying.
Right.
And because of our knowledge about hallucinations, all right, if they weren't lying about it, they had some sort of an experience that convinced them Jesus was raised. Was it a hallucination? And what we know from hallucinations, that only 7% of those most likely to experience a hallucination experience a visual one, and yet this would require 100% of the apostles to do it. We know from the mental health profession and various studies that have been done, group hallucinations do not occur. So the group appearances were not hallucinations. And we can also rule out pretty much a hallucination of Paul because he wasn't grieving. So just through this, we can see legend, lies, and hallucinations seem extremely unlikely.